Getting around the Philippines, it's very much a choose your own adventure from point to point. There's this vast web network of transportation options from place to place, island to island. But it's not always as simple as you would think. I've heard somebody say like, oh, you just drive to a port where you would think that there is activity and you take a boat to anywhere. Not that simple. And then there's plenty of content saying, oh, you just fly anywhere. Well, not that simple. Because when people talk about how cheap an airplane ticket is, yeah, it's cheap if you buy that ticket 2 to 3 weeks in advance. But for some people, first of all, the hassle of flying is just not worth it. And the price can add up if you're not planned out a month in advance your movements. So for the people that are my audience, you're most likely not somebody trying to fit a holiday vacation and see as much as you can on the tightest timeline possible with these hard, set, fast, daytime hacks to move. You're more nomadic. And so if you travel the way I do, my style, where I have to move slow and I want to avoid flying at all costs, because the adventure's better anyway on the ground and on the surface of the water. You make your decision at most 48 hours, 72 hours ahead of your movement. So here we are in the port of Bacolod. Since I'm here right now, I figured it was time to start covering some of this, how you can move about these areas. So Bacolod and Iloilo, they're kind of like sister cities. They're so close across the strait, and there's so much cargo and human traffic that goes back and forth between them. Here might be the best visual representation of how the flow works. Right out front of the passenger terminal, there's 4 different carriers going back and forth all day long between Iloilo and Bacolod. And the signs tell you when the next boat is going. So Monday through Saturday, it's 5:30 in the morning till 5:30 at night. Those boats are just back and forth across the strait, about an hour and a half trip. Sunday, that time window is a shorter one. It's like 8:30 in the morning till, I don't know, 3:30 in the afternoon, last boat goes. Those boat tickets are, in the neighborhood of like 500 pesos. So that's too easy. But this is not all available online. You have to show up, and that's the easiest thing to do anyway, is once you're ready to set sail, just come here. Either side, Iloilo or Bacolod, buy your ticket. Both port activities have support, right? Like 7-Eleven and a chicken place and small vendors keep you with the food, so you can set your bags down, especially if you have somebody to watch over your stuff. Go grab some food and get on the next boat moving, if that makes any sense. So you got Wisam, you got Montenegro, you got Ocean Jet, there's one more, but they're all fast ferries. Now, from here in Bacolod, you cannot get to Guimaras directly. You have to actually go over to Iloilo, because the port on Guimaras is on the close side to Iloilo. This is one port in Bacolod where all the movements happen. We'll get back to Iloilo. It's the Simplicio A Palanca Seaport Terminal. To that direction is the Ro-Ro Terminal. Roll on, roll off. So right now, there's just the last of the vehicles rolling off of the last boat that came in. But this is, you're just walking in with luggage, or no luggage, just you, which would be weird. You come down a little bit, there's the big pink cruise boat, the To Go. So for any of the times, go to the To Go website and you pick your from destination. And once you set that in, like whether it's Bacolod or Iloilo that you're leaving from, or Manila, then the to your destination tab limits your choices to the only places it sails to. So you will notice it's not a perfect web around the islands on the cruise ship thing. So here from Bacolod, we go to Manila and back several times a week, both ways. Cagayan de Oro and Batangas, which is on the southern tip of Luzon. If you wanted to make your way up there, it's a long ride, it's only once a week. But then you can take a bus through some less traveled elements of Luzon, which is a huge island, and make your way to Manila up to the north of that island. And the whole point of this video is it's really hard to figure out just using the websites One2Go, Bookaway. It's very, very difficult to understand how all the parts and pieces work together. One sticking point that I think is really hard for people to understand is that in Iloilo, there are like 5 different port activities where the boats are moving. So you have the main one on San Pedro, where the big to-go boats come in and out of Manila. But they also, you can get a ticket there to sail to Cebu, which is not immediately visible online anywhere. This is the main port terminal. Sorry, it's getting dark. My trip here, I did not end up getting the deluxe suite, so I ended up staying, but had the room to myself. I think that was more luck than anything, because that boat got pretty full, actually. Would I do it again? Ooh, that bed was vibrating all night long. I did not sleep much, but I'd probably do it again. This main port terminal goes back to Manila and to Cebu Island. I would just reserve your tickets online. It's the to-go that goes to Manila and the Trans-Asia that goes to Cebu. When you're leaving here, just like reserve your grab ride right here. It's like the mob of taxi trike drivers. Just do a grab ride. And as much as I am a fan of, if you watch my videos, you know, the local buses, the local jeepneys, under no circumstances with your baggage should you be trying to jump in a jeepney. It's more for fun and exploring. They're empty right now, but most of the time they're just like shoulder to shoulder. Okay, but if you're going to Palawan Island, it's La Puz terminal that you want to be at. So that's the main terminal. You go to the fast ferry, the fast ferry port, if you're going to, well, here, Bacolod. And the signage and the time frames are nearly identical how that movement happens. And same thing, they have all the support stuff, the restrooms, the food, so that you can delay which boat you want to get on if you're like, oh my gosh, we hastily checked out, I'm starving. Because on the boats, it's mostly snack and finger food that they're selling you on that trip. Then there's a totally different port near the river mouth if you're trying to go to Guimaras. So those boats go to like Jordan. Yeah, it's a very short, very direct. I mean, if you were a really good rock skipper, you could almost skip a rock to Guimaras Island. The only other activity happening at that Iloilo port where you go back and forth to Bacolod is Montenegro sets sail for the island of Palawan, where Puerto Princesa and El Nido are. It goes to Puerto Princesa on Saturdays, sails on Saturday evening, 6 o'clock, stops at Cuyo Island for like a 5 or 6 hour stopover where you are allowed to disembark, and then makes its way for a Monday morning arrival, 7 or 8 in the morning. So the problem with that Montenegro ship going from Bacolod from Iloilo to Palawan is it's only a bunk option. You cannot get a private stateroom. And those, you have non-air conditioned and air conditioned, and all of them range from 3,000 to 4,000 pesos for a trip.